does Biafra mean?
It means freedom, liberty, fairness, equity, and justice.
In practical terms, these are very good sounding words, but in practical terms, what does Biafra mean?
Confederation.
So, a weak center,
very weak,
very strong regions.
Absolutely.
Have you had a change of mind, therefore, about getting an independent Biafra? Because that's what I seem to be hearing.
No, I've not changed my mind, no. An independent Biafra means going back to the way we were before the white man came.
Okay, so you're not talking about a federation. When you say a confederation, you're not talking about a federation as part of Nigeria. You're talking about total independence.
Absolute independence.
Complete independence. Now, is there anything that can happen that will make you change your mind about this particular direction?
No.
So it is either Biafra or nothing else?
Or death, yes.
Or death?
That's good.
If push comes to shove,
yes,
will you go to war?
No, because truth is a far more potent and deadlier weapon than bullets and mortars.
So truth. No war? You've ruled out the...
Absolutely, I don't believe in war, no. No war. When I say Biafra or death, I'll keep pushing. Either I am alive, I die in the process, I won't stop. Allow me to repeat, if you don't mind. Had sovereign national conference been convened by the powers that be, where every ethnic nation, I said every, I don't care if there are 600, I don't care. Everyone is
all the 500 plus.
Everyone together to say, this is all, others can delegate, I don't know, powers to other people to attend on their behalf. Sit down to say, what type of country do we want? Sit down, discuss, agree. I can begin to perhaps submit to your position.
Is it too late?
It is way too late. They've killed too many people. They've ruined too many lives. They've wasted too many souls. How do we bring those people back?
If the federal government, given the agitation that is going on, becomes convinced that, you know what, these people have a point, it is time to actually address all these issues, and they begin to systematically address some of these issues, would you change your mind?
No, because of the deceptions of the past.
No trust?
No trust. Aburi was there, it was negotiated. Nothing happened. 1968, if I recall. And the confab report, what became of it? How about the 3 R's? Reconciliation, reconstruction, and heaven knows what else. What became of them? Nothing. Calabar Seaport is not working. Can you tell me why it's not working? It's a seaport used by the colonial masters. Why is it not working today? How about Iguacha Seaport? Why is it not being used? Why not worry? Why must we allow only Lagos to function as a viable seaport? In England, where I used to live, you had Liverpool, you had the Sun, which is Portsmouth, you had Southampton. Everywhere you had harbors and ports. So why must you have only one?
I've heard people say these are very valid arguments, and that these are things that are to do with bad governance. So the average Biafran, to use your phrase, or Igbo man in the Igbo, is facing poverty much in the same way that the average guy in Yobe State is facing poverty. And so these are issues of governance. You don't agree with that?
I agree completely.
Okay. So if that is it, why isn't the agitation about tackling the problem, which is ensuring good governance, perhaps starting from locally? Because part of the allegations against you is that you don't confront your political leaders in the East, and you'd like to blame Abuja for everything.
Because the way I would want to solve a problem is not how a Fulani man would want to solve it.
You really believe this is an ethnic thing, and the approach is different?
No, the approach is different. No, it's not ethnic. It is more to do with value system.
Right.
The way you may want to solve a problem could be markedly different from how I do mine.
What is the geographical makeup of Biafra, as far as you are concerned, this Biafra that you want? So for example, if we're doing a referendum, where will that referendum take place? Is it only the 5?
It's on, no.
It's okay.
It's on, which is River State, Bayelsa, Delta, Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Cross River.
Akwa Ibom?
And Akwa Ibom, of course.
Right.
Those are the coasters. Basically.
Bielsa?
Yes. Southeast and South-South without Edo State.
Without Edo State.
That's correct. And then including Ibeda, Idoma.
Right, the Benues. So
That's
the
correct.
Igalas and part of the Kogi,
Yes.
Kogi State, right?
Yeah.
Nyesom Wike, the governor of Anambra, sorry, the governor of River State, made a statement, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, and said, you know, you should not be including River State
It's for
and
the
the
River State
poor
to decide,
people.
not him. I can't decide for Biafrans. You have to go and vote and convince the whole world that they want Biafra. It's not for instance, it's only one man, one vote.
What if they're not even willing to take part in the referendum? Because I've had people from the South, for example, from Bielsa, I've had people from Cross River. I think there's a famous actress, Kate Henshaw, for example, wrote a long piece about why people of the South don't want to be dragged into a place called Biafra. You're saying, regardless of what they say, you want a referendum in those parts?
Because I know the majority of the people want a referendum. I was in Iguacha yesterday.
How do you know?
I was there yesterday. I was in Iguacha yesterday. You call Port Harcourt. I was there yesterday. I should have been there to see what happened.
Now,
They were delighted to see me. I'm sure you know that. It's all over the place. They're very happy to see me. I bet Kate Henshaw wouldn't get such reception. Where she to go to?
as a big, popular Nollywood actress, I wouldn't necessarily.
I'm telling you, if I go to her village, people will turn out to see me more than turn out to see her.
Biafra Republic! Biafra Republic! Biafra Republic! The zoo has fallen. The zoo has fallen. Finally, the zoo has fallen. If you do not know that the zoo has fallen, check around yourself. Check around you.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program, wherever you are joining from. I welcome all Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, wherever you are connecting us from. If you are joining us from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand, you are joining us from Russia, you are joining us from Israel, you are joining from Biafra land. I welcome you to this program, and I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiam continue to guide you, protect you, and secure you. My fellow Biafrans, we have come once again, as we always do, to preach the gospel of Biafra, the gospel of freedom, to continue to sensitize the world about what is happening in Biafran territory. Fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you are watching from, I want you to tighten up your belt, because the journey has just started. Tighten up your belt. Do not be distracted. Do not be deceived. No matter what you hear, what you see, our destination is Biafra. It is either Biafra or Biafra. There is no going back. The fulfillment of the promises is now. Biafra is the fulfillment of all promises. The rise and falling of Africa support Biafra, Republic of in Exile. Wherever you are, I want you to prepare yourself for the fulfillment of the promise. Don't take yourself away from this very journey. The journey has started, and every Biafra is lining up, going on the direction that they are supposed to go. Wherever you are watching from, I urge you to tighten up your belt. It is freedom. The time, the hour of freedom has come, and there is no going back. No matter the propaganda, the blackmail you hear, no matter where they are coming from, do not pay attention. Don't listen to the blackmail, to the propaganda of the enemies. They will continue to give their propaganda, but I bet you we will not listen to them. No matter their lies, no matter their propaganda, Our destination is freedom. We are not southeast. We are not south-south. And we are Biafrans. We will never ever be Nigeria. Never. The Biafran people are on their journey home. And as we are marching home, no man born of a woman is going to stop this journey. As we have commenced this journey, it is either Biafra or Biafra, and there is no going back.
Ejiofor promised them he's in charge of IPO. Where is he today? He's gone. I want you to understand, mark my word now. Once Nnamdi Kanu is out, IPOB is gone, dissolved, completely dissolved. Mark my word. Every person today that is fighting me on the other side will be gone. I want you to mark this day. Mark this word I'm telling you now. Every one of them will be gone.
You have had it. If you are standing with the Biafran government, stand firm and hold it tight. Because the supreme leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, is going to join us very soon. And as soon as he comes out, every criminal that is hanging or hiding anywhere, they will be gone and gone for good. You will never hear about them anymore. All those people who are pretending to be fighting for Biafra and they are not fighting, they will be gone. You will no longer see them anymore. Wherever they hide, you can't see them. The hour have come. Prepare yourself. Don't get distracted. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. The moment of freedom is here.
Ejiofor promised them he's in charge of IPO. Where is he today? He's gone. I want you to understand, mark my word now. Once Nnamdi Kanu is out, IPOB is gone, dissolved, completely dissolved. Mark my word. Every person today that is fighting me on the other side will be gone. I want you to mark this day. Mark this word I'm telling you now. Every one of them will be gone.
By yourself wherever you are, because the time is drawing very near. You have heard from our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Eba. We are expecting our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu to join us any moment from now. And as soon as our Supreme Leader Nnamdi Kanu joins us, all the criminals that are hiding, wherever they are hiding, they will be gone and gone for good. You will not see any one of them anymore. You will not see them. Wherever they hide, you can't see them. You better know where you stand today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Today as we speak, know where you stand. Know your stance. Don't say you are not warned. Don't say you are not told. This rain that is going to fall is going to beat everyone that have refused to listen. You better listen and save yourself now.
Ejiofor promised them he's in charge of IPO. Where is he today? He's gone. I want you to understand, mark my word now. Once Nnamdi Kanu is out, IPOB is gone.
Don't forget this very statement. Reputation is for emphasis. Reputation for emphasis. Those of you who are pretending you are confused. Those of you who are not yet standing firm. Once Nnamdi Kanu comes out, so many of you, there will be no space. So there will be no space. So you better take your position in the government now. Take your position in the government now and make yourself clear. If you don't, what is coming is going to be heavy. Pay attention. Don't say you are not.
I finish with them. I will be here. Biafra freedom will come from diaspora. I promised them for many years, but since 2021, that I will bring the Biafra freedom from diaspora. I want you to look around yourself. Is it not coming from diaspora? They thought they have locked everywhere. If you go to Nigeria, they kill you. If you do, they will challenge you. Come to Nigeria, so we'll take you serious. Come to Nigeria. Because I will not come to Nigeria. If you want to die, go and put yourself on hold up. I will not come to Nigeria. I will be here to fight for my people, and I will be here and free my people from Nigeria. When Queen Elizabeth was controlling you in Nigeria and doing amalgamation, was she there? Was she there? Queen Elizabeth is the same Lord Lugard. Was she there? I will do like her. I will be here and free Biafra, and then I will come to unify Biafra people after Biafra has been recognized. I will be here to fight because freedom is not coming from Nigeria. Freedom is coming from abroad. Freedom is coming from the United Nations. Freedom is coming from Washington, D.C. Freedom is coming from European Union. Freedom is not coming from Africa. Freedom is not coming from Nigeria. Freedom is not coming from Abuja. Freedom is coming from America. It's coming from Europe. You don't know that, know it. No matter how sad and bad it sounds. But that is a fact. So why should I go to Nigeria where freedom is not coming from? It's coming from here.
You have heard our Prime Minister, and his word is clear and direct. Wherever you are, take your position in the government of Biafra. The hour has come. We must take our position. Do not be deceived. Don't say you are not told. Don't say you are not warned. The warning is now coming. The restoration of independent state of Biafra has started. Wherever you are in Biafra land, take your position. Take your position now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do not wait till tomorrow. Take your position now. If you don't, you are going to pay a heavy price. You are going to pay a heavy price. Don't say you are not warned. My fellow Biafrans, as we are approaching the convention of the Biafra, which is coming up, that convention that is coming up, as we approach the convention, every one of us have to tighten up our belts. If you have not yet voted on the self-referendum, there is still time. There is still chance for you to vote. Wherever you are and you are watching this program, please like and share. Invite someone to join us on this program. Make sure you invite someone to join us on this program, because it is our responsibility to make sure that everybody is carried along. It is our responsibility to share this gospel to reach everybody. As you are watching, don't watch alone. Invite somebody to join us. Invite somebody to join in this program. Make sure you share to one platform. Share to your family and friends. In the restoration of Biafra, it is a different ball game. If you have not started supporting, please and please, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Okike, for your own sake, this is the time for you to fix yourself somewhere, because in the near future, there will be no chance for you. In the near future, there will be no space for you. In the near future, you are going to beg. You will beg and beg and beg, and nobody's going to pay attention to you. This position you are today, you don't know how you got there. If you are lucky to be standing with our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, up to this moment, count yourself lucky. Count yourself lucky. You are a very lucky person. If you are in the struggle today, count yourself lucky. Count yourself lucky. You don't know what Chukwu Okike have done to you. Many people have fallen aside. Many people have fallen. But those of us who are standing by the grace of Chukwu Okike today, we are here and we are watching the coming of Biafra. Biafra is coming with fire. Today you can see Nigerian government running helter-skelter. Nigerian government, when they see the movement of Biafra government in DC, when they see what the lobbying group are doing in the United States, when they see the probability of the United States recognizing Biafra, they are afraid. Every one of us knows that the United States is a major player in this world. You can never deny that fact. It does not matter how bad they sound. It doesn't matter how ugly it sounds. The United States of America remains the police of this country, this world. And once you get them in your own side, your job is almost half done. Once you can be able to convince the United States to be on your side, your job is almost half done. That is why today the Biafran lobbying group are doing marvelously well in DC. Before we end the program, I am going to share the update coming from our Prime Minister. Informations that are coming for you to know that it is not a joke. A lot of updates is coming. And finally, our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, have again opened an olive branch for the political elites. He have given the political elite, Biafra political elite have been given special invitation to attend the convention in Finland. Special invitation from our prime minister to the political elites for them to attend the convention in Finland. He has opened the gateway for them that they should come in. Nigeria has nothing to offer for them and they know it. That thing they are afraid of, they should stop being afraid. It is not yet late for them to turn around and embrace Biafra. If you refuse, it is up to you. And our friends have made it clear. It is for you to choose either to stay in Biafra land or to go away from Biafra land. The choice is yours. It is good and evil. It is good. It's left for you to either choose good or you choose evil. This is a direct statement from our prime minister. The door is opened. It is left for them to make their choice, what they want. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching from, every one of us should be strong. Do not be deceived. Do not be distracted. The restoration of the independent state of Biafra is going to happen. It does not matter what the enemies are saying. Their propaganda and blackmail cannot stand. No matter what they do or say, we are not going to give up. The awareness is going very, very wide. The kind of awareness that is coming today, it is not just by human being. The spirit of Biafra is possessing everybody, including their media. The spirit of Biafra is possessing even the media, the conventional media in Nigeria. They can't control it again. They have been running away from mentioning the Liberation Army. Today, they are recognizing the Biafran Government and Liberation Army. Wherever you are as a Biafran, the time has come for you to own up to whom you are. Stop being afraid. Stop being shy. Stop being afraid. This is the time for freedom. This is the time for us to fight and be who we are going to be. This is time for us to take up our responsibility and be who we are supposed to be. My fellow Biafrans, do not allow anybody to distract you. This very distraction they are bringing, don't allow it to catch you. The truth remains that the Biafran people, we are going home. And the person today that is championing the exit of Biafra from Nigeria is the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, fulfilling the promises that he had made for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When he made that promise, some of us thought it was a joke. Some of us thought it was an entertainment. It is not. Our Prime Minister meant every single statement he made. Every single statement he made to Mazi Simon Ekpa, he meant it. If you think he's joking, you are only playing with your own destiny. If you think Mazi Simon Ekpa is joking or he's playing, you are playing with your own destiny. The earlier you understand and focus and understand that this man is committed to the restoration of Biafra and nothing else, the better for you. The earlier you understand this fact, the better for you. Stop believing idiots. Stop believing propaganda. Focus on the restoration of Biafra. That is where we are. Any other thing that you hear does not matter to us. We will never stop, no matter what they do. My fellow Biafrans, I want to share a very video that we're going to look into. Let us look into a video that is coming from the Zoological Republic. Let us listen to it. You know, we will continue to share because this time around, the spirit of Biafra is speaking for us. People are gathering liver. People are now speaking up, and people will follow up every incident. For a long time, we have left the media for their funja. We can no longer leave the media for their funjas. We can't leave the media for their funja. If you see any information coming from Biafra, if you don't share it, I know that you don't know what you're doing. If you don't share it, you are part of the problem. Every one of us should share any program you see that has to do with Biafra. Share it, make it go viral. We can no longer allow the Afonja to take care of the media. We are going to take it back from them. Let us listen to this very information from their media in Nigeria and let's hear what they have to say.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching The Breakfast on Plus TV Africa. Army condemns violence under Simon Ekpa and urges global action. The Nigerian Army has strongly condemned the brutal treatment of innocent citizens, including a retired ex-corporal, Tirola Adewale, by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the Biafran Liberation Army. The Army has called on international organizations such as Amnesty International and the International Criminal Court to hold Simon Ekpa.
One thing, this idiot should stop mixing Biafran government and IPOB Nigeria. Biafran government is not IPOB Nigeria. You are mentioning the Liberation Army of Biafra. Why are you bringing IPOB Nigeria into it? The man that was released by the Liberation Army of Biafra. Go straight and tell us the Liberation Army of Biafra. Why are you mentioning the IPOB Nigeria? IPOB Nigeria has nothing to do with Biafran government. Biafran government is on its own. I don't know how we will explain this before you people understand. Biafran government is on its own. Don't associate us with IPOB Nigeria.
Global action. The Nigerian Army has strongly condemned the brutal treatment of innocent citizens, including a retired ex-corporal, Tirola Adewale, by the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the Biafran Liberation Army.
It is not
the Army
by
has called on international organizations such as Amnesty International and the International Criminal Court to hold Simon Ekpa and other IPOB leaders accountable for these heinous crimes. Now, joining us to discuss this is we have a guest. Also, I would just like to add that the Nigerian Army has also urged Nigerians to stand united against IPOB's terrorism. But joining us right now to discuss this is Emmanuel Ikule, is an executive director, Elixir Trust Foundation. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so I think I would just like to start by asking, we've seen what's happening in the south, right, in the east, the southeast of Nigeria, and there's just been a lot because we're hearing of people being killed, we're hearing of sit at home, we're hearing of so many things that's going on. But I want to ask that you give us a brief overview on what's happening and how it has led up to where we are today.
Okay, when you try to look at the situation in Southeast, it's more than just a one-off thing of just the current happening of maybe the IPOB group trying to hurt somebody. It's more than just that. Southeast generally have been excluded from a lot of things, from access to leadership, access to opportunities in the country at large. And this has been long since the time of independence till date, from the time of civil war till date. And in trying to address issues like this, it requires more than just a condemnation. It requires a dialogue, because a lot of their leaders actually have not been happy at the way things have been. This has been years, not just 10 years, 20 years, 30, but this is about 50 years or more. And they are excluded from a lot of things. The young persons are suffering. And also, if you look at the way and manner that the army or the military have handled interventions in Southeast, it has not been similar to the way they have handled issues with even Boko Haram. There have been a lot of killings, be the military killing young persons and referring to them as IPOB leaders. No law permits killing of citizens. Yeah. So it's not because maybe other persons are torturing people that it becomes a crime. And when the military tortures people, it's allowed. That is not so. Administration of Criminal Justice Act, Anti-Torture Act of 2017 actually prohibits all forms of torture. Even in times of war, torture is being prohibited. So, but this, when you come to Nigeria, these things have been happening over and over again. We cannot count the number of persons that have been murdered by the military in Southeast. So certainly when this thing continue happening and reoccurring, certainly the people at one time or the other may also get tired of being abused, and they may start to find ways to actually retaliate in one form or manner.
I want you to understand, this guy made a very good point. This guy made a very good point. And what you've seen happening today is retaliation. We are going to retaliate. We cannot fold our hands. Our Prime Minister has said it is a time of vengeance. We have come to revenge. And we are going to revenge every death that is happening in Biafra land. If they don't understand it when we explain it, at least this man is making some explanation. What you are seeing that is happening today against the Zoological Republic terrorists in our territory is as a result of what they have been doing. They have been taking the life of Biafrans for a very long time. They have been destroying the life of Biafrans in all fronts. And we can no longer allow that. We have said, taken enough, and we say enough is enough. What you are seeing today is vengeance on what is happening. And nobody should blame us. We are getting out of the zoo.
So for me, I'm saying that this has happened a lot of years. A lot of their leaders, Southeast leaders, have complained. Traditional religions and all that have complained over time. But the federal government have not actually tried to actually address this concern. Most times it has just been army intervention in those areas. And when you overlook a lot of dialogue, a lot of things that should have been done, and move straight to army intervention in such an area, it only becomes problematic. So for me, a lot of things have happened there, a lot of killings, a lot of denial of resources, access to leadership, a lot of exclusion, even when, in short, a lot of things have happened over time. So in addressing such situations, there are better ways. Dialogue must happen. And if those things, because even the IPOD groups and the rest, there have also been maybe some requests at one time or the other, they have to be a dialogue to be able to address these concerns, because war and every time using force will not be a solution in this particular case, because it has lingered too long. And if the military has not been able to address it this way, then it means there have to be another way, an alternative way of addressing this concept.
Do you think that they've never, sat down to have this dialogue? What ways do you think that would be effective when it comes to addressing these concerns? Because these are people's lives we're talking about. And if we're talking about the Southeast, I'm sure there are also people who are from there that have been killed as well. A lot of times you hear of these killings, and there are people who are from these states. So why are they not listening, or who's not doing the right thing here when it comes to addressing the concerns of the people that has obviously led to IPOB doing all of these heinous crimes?
Okay, over the years there have been complaints of I said earlier about the explosion in leadership.
Yeah.
This has been a major concern. Why has there been opportunity for somebody from Southeast to lead? When you are talking about the three major tribes, you are talking about Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa. Then why is it that Igbo, and consistently, even those in leadership, the comments they have made concerning people allowing those from Southeast to lead has not actually been welcoming to some ears. So for me, yes, at one time or the other, there are certain times you hold an event, but people look at it like more like a political affair than seeing the sincerity of people in it. So for me, if the government really is serious, the federal government should sit, even with Simon Ekpa and other people. They have things, reasons why they are doing what they are doing. It may be bad, but to them may be appealing. So at one time or the other, there have been terrorists. I know there have been one time or that they have arrested terrorists in the north. They have many times they have given things like amnesty to some persons in the terrorists and criminals in the north. There are times they have done similar to South. I feel it's high time the federal government also try to rework things. Sit with the governors. Every community has leadership, has gatekeepers. Be it religious, be it traditional, be it political. They should sit, even if it's a private meeting. This has to happen, and then maybe find terms of agreement or how to resolve this issue. Nigeria is for everybody. It's not just for some persons. And as I said earlier, unfortunately, the military have been able to go for peacekeeping in other areas and in other countries and have observed certain standards of intervention. But as regards intervention in some areas, particularly in Southeast, it has not been according to standard. That's why I started by saying there have been a lot of killings. Yes, there have been also counter responses from people living in those areas, or should I say from IPOP, but there are better ways of doing things. When you go to the field, if you are fighting, having an engagement with terrorists and you kill them in the process is a different issue. But in the situation where people are moving about their normal businesses, or you go into people's house, arrest them and murder them, certainly you'll be expecting that there will certainly be.
This is a very good point. Why you are seeing what you are seeing in Biafra land today, why we say we cannot allow the terrorists to continue to operate. They go to the house of innocent people. Not people that they caught maybe in the fireway point or whatever. In their homes, you abduct people from their homes and you take their life. Amnesty International have reported about this disappearance. It didn't start today. Amnesty International reported, and they said recently that more people are going to disappear. And you want us to fold our hands and continue to watch them disappear our people. You want us to fold our hands. We cannot fold our hands. And it is good that people are now coming back to their senses. But in terms of dialogue, it is too late. We are in exit, and the Biafrans must exit the zoo, whether they like it or they don't. That is where we are today. We are in the time of exit, and we must exit.
To standard. That's why I started by saying there have been a lot of killings. Yes, there have been also counter responses from people living in those areas, or should I say from IPOP, but there are better ways of doing things. When you go to the field, if you are fighting, having an engagement with terrorists and you kill them in the process is a different issue. But in the situation where people are moving about their normal businesses, or you go into people's house, arrest them and murder them, certainly you'll be expecting that there will certainly be a form of counter attacks from such persons. So in this particular case, I suggest they have a sit down with the federal government. They have a sit down with the traditional rulers, the gatekeepers, and have a common what should be acceptable and what shouldn't be. If that happens to a large extent, some of these concerns will be addressed, because it's not everybody that welcomes the issue or what has been happening there. Generally, nobody is happy with killings of citizens. Nobody. So if that step can be done, that will be able to calm nerves. At the same time, if opportunities, really like employment opportunities and all that, and if they can also be stopped, the criminalization of people from Southeast, it will go a long way of saying that yes, we are being excluded from.
Criminalization of people in the Southeast is a very good point. The criminalization of people in the Southeast, more especially the Igbo people, the criminalization of Biafrans is one of the major reasons why we must get out, because they will not stop. This criminalization of the Biafran people, the Southeasterners, the Igbos, have started not from today, since 1945. Since 1945, it became pronounced during their civil war. Even from amalgamation, they have been doing it. But during the Civil War, 1967, it became more pronounced. Up to this minute, as we are speaking, they are still criminalizing anybody from the Southeast, the old Southeastern region, more especially the Igbos. For only the fact that you are bearing an Igbo name, you are an SBIT. Being somebody from the Southeast, their own Southeast, is just an SBIT. And they are not going to stop. That is why the only option for us today is to exit. This is a very vital point. And I thank God that somebody is saying this in their own conventional media. I want us to keep listening.
The gatekeepers, and have a common what should be acceptable and what shouldn't be. If that happens to a large extent, some of these concerns will be addressed, because it's not everybody that welcomes the issue or what has been happening there. Generally, nobody is happy with killings of citizens. Nobody. So if that step can be done, that will be able to calm nerves. At the same time, if opportunities, really like employment opportunities and all that, and if they can also be stopped, the criminalization of people from Southeast, it will go a long way of saying that yes, we are being excluded from access to resources. But now, because of this seat, that we have opportunities now that we can aspire to whatever position we wish for in this country, and we can be accepted. Then if it gets to that level, there will be no need. I believe there will be no need for IPOB again, because what they are advocating for, access to leadership, access to resources, will already be available to them.
Okay, so they want the access to leadership, access to resources, equal opportunities. But should violence be the way to make your voices heard? I understand that, everybody wants a fair deal for themselves, but is that the best way to go about this? Because we're saying that, okay, maybe the military, they're not having the proper dialogue with them, but in the first case scenario, should IPOB use violence? Isn't that, threatening, using terrorism to threaten the peace of the nation? Meanwhile, of course, the government is trying to keep the peace.
So, there is proper way of doing things. Right. Just like I said earlier, the government have faulted in their intervention in Southeast. Then secondly, yes, what the IPOB is doing is wrong. It shouldn't even be in the first place. But when people in a particular area are being marginalized for a long period of time, it may get to that point where they have to sort other means of defending themselves. This has happened also for other locations, be it like North Central.
Very good point. We are only defending ourselves. What you are seeing in Biafra land today is self-defense. There is nothing more. Self-defense. The Biafran people are defending themselves. And you cannot stop us from defending ourselves. What you are seeing today is Biafran people defending themselves, and we will continue to defend ourselves until we exit the zoo completely. That is exactly what it is. It is what it is. I like for the fact that somebody could be sensible to be telling them to their face, even when they try to twist the narrative, as they always do. The Afonjas will use their media to twist the narrative. But I wish that every Biafran will pick the courage to call in. When you go to your program, speak. Don't be afraid. Speak. Say things the way they are. I'm not telling you to support us. I'm not telling you to support Biafra, but say the truth and let the world judge.
Then secondly, yes, what the IPOB is doing is wrong. It shouldn't even be in the first place. But when people in a particular area are being marginalized for a long period of time, it may get to that point where they have to sort other means of defending themselves. This has happened also for other locations, be it like North Central, that consistently, if you look at, you tend to also fault the intervention of military in those areas, where maybe because of one attack, they go and burn down a whole village. The military shouldn't be doing that. They should be going for peacekeeping or trying to resolve issues in areas, especially.
And that is what they do in Biafran territory. Burning houses, taking innocent lives. Just like that, without any provocation. But they don't do the same in the North. In the North, they are laughing and they are rejoicing, feeling as if nothing is happening.
When it's within the country. But when those interventions happen, and those people that are supposed to be like protectors have become predators, it gets to that point where you start looking at alternative means of defending yourself.
Exactly.
Because you reach out to the police are saying the military, it's government permission. Government has permitted intervention in such areas. You reach out to the military, they are the ones carrying out intervention of killing or carrying out torturing people in the Southeast. So when you try to look at the security agencies that you should be reporting to in cases of when your rights are being abused, when the failure of the government to carry out interventions, when it has failed, and then you are reaching out to those that should be protecting you, they are the ones that are predators in this case. It gets to that particular point that even your leaders complain that the government is failing to help you instead of they're punishing you. Then within yourself, you have to find a way to help yourself. It's the wrong means, but this is where we are at this particular point in time. And for these issues to be addressed, they have to be a sit down. Because consistent killing, a house that fights itself cannot stand whenever there's external invasion. That is why issues like Boko Haram will continue to persist. Because within, we have not been, there's no unity within the country. Be it the intervention of security agencies in certain locations. Let's not forget that before even independence, during colonial times, there was what they called, should I say, martial tribes or thereabout, where you put tribes that you know normally they are at crossroad against each other. So you carry people from the north to come and police the south, you carry the south to go and police the north. Those interventions or those type or archaic intervention has still persisted till date. And if you are thinking about unity and thinking about saving lives, then they have to be a sit down, especially when you want to seek peace. And when the people you are coming to them in the aim of intervention see sincerity of peoples from your intervention, they will be forced to work with you. But people are even scared that even if they give intel to you of such interventions, you go back and still point them out and they'll still become suspect in cases like this. Interventions like this have also happened in Yobe, where citizens came out to report to the police and military that there are certain persons that are involved in Boko Haram and the rest, and still the same persons were arrested and freed the same days, and they went back and murdered their fellow relatives because they reported them. Just some weeks back, there were still bodies being still carried and towed, about 100 in vehicles in Yobe, because of what? So these are similar situations. Right. If we really want to be sincere, then we have to disassociate ourselves, first of all, from criminals and mean security agencies. And then in working in areas, they should work not because of personal hatred for a particular tribe or personal grudges they have in the past, maybe by leaders, because sometimes they are used to push agenda by the leadership, those in leadership. So there must be a sit down to address situations like this.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because on one hand, if you're being abused, you definitely want to defend yourself. Obviously, violence is not the case, it's not the way to go. But we just hope that the military, all of our security agencies, they're ensuring that these people are safe. You know, the safety of the citizen is imperative for everyone, and we hope that, you know, even people who are in government are giving the equal opportunities to these people so that they don't feel marginalized and they don't now, you know, take hands or take action when it comes to terrorism and criminality, because at the end of the day, all we just want is a very peaceful Nigeria, and hopefully we'll get that. We're seeing what's happening in the north, we're seeing what's happening in the southeast now. There's just a lot going on, but hopefully we'll become one Nigeria again and everybody would live together happy for a long time. All right, Emmanuel, I want to say thank you so much for coming. It was so nice discussing this with you.
You have heard it. Emmanuel did a very great job. He spoke very eloquently, but the people you are talking to, are they going to hear? They will not hear. They prefer their basbos way. They prefer to attack. They prefer to go against the innocent. They prefer to show their muscles, even when you are not interested in fighting them. That is what they prefer. And I bet you, the time for crying have passed. The time for begging have passed. The time for negotiation is over. It is over. We are no longer negotiating anything. All we are doing today is exit. Exit and nothing but exit.
Nobody is talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to fake independence to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. And we will question it with gun, we will question it with bomb, we will question it with civility, we will question it diplomatically, and we will question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria, or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. They will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years, after that we decide.
You have heard from our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, making a point. And that is the truth. That is the truth and nothing but the truth. We are going to question the existence of the zoo because we did not sign up for this. This forceful marriage has ended long ago. The forceful marriage, according to the British, ended in 2014. And they do not want to come to the table and renegotiate. That is why today the Biafran government have taken the bull by the horn. The Biafran government have taken the bull by the horn. And they, on their own, have conducted a self-referendum with a result of more than 50 million people. More than 50 million people voting in favor of Biafra. And you think we are going to play with that number? You think that we're going to joke with that number? If that is what you think again. You better go back to sleep and wake up again, because we cannot play with that number. We are going to fight as much as we can to make sure that the voice of Biafran people are heard. That is why today the Biafran government is taking steps. Biafran government is taking different kinds of steps to make sure that the voice of the people is being heard. Wherever you are as a Biafran, do not allow anybody to distract you. Do not allow anybody to deceive you. The restoration of Biafra is where we are, and Biafra must be restored. Let us go to the update from our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, on his X platform. Let us go and see the latest update. There will always be updates because our Prime Minister is sending us information 247. He is passing information to us 247, and we will continue to bring you updates that we have come today to do. We have come today to bring you updates on what is happening, and let us see what we can see on the updates coming from the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa on X. This is the X of our Prime Minister, and let's see what we have on the X. A lot of information. So what you can see here, these are the diplomatic move that the Biafran government is making. Biafran government is still in DC doing exploit as we speak. Biafran government is doing exploit. This video you are seeing here is when they gave the charter of Biafra to the congressman. This is the moment Biafra charter handed to Congressman Smith. Biafra Finance Minister Ogechukwu Ukere and Director of Foreign Affairs in USA, Ada Eze, enjoying a pleasantry exchange at the conclusion of their meeting with Congressman Chris Smith. The meeting that is going on is heavy. It is heavy. If you think it is a joke, think again. If you think it's a joke, you better think again. This is what is happening. And you know, in our own, if they play, if they show, we don't show you and say, don't tell people. Everything that happens, we are showing it to the whole world, and we are showing it to the Biafran people for the Biafran people to be carried along. It is important.
Yeah, we used your software for 20 years.
That is what is going on. And as this is going on, we are bringing video evidence and we bring picture evidence so that you wouldn't say that maybe it's a Photoshop. We are not in the era of the Photoshop. That is why we show you on picture and we also show you on video. All these people you are seeing here are men in the Congress in Capitol Hill. That is where our people are making exploit and sending informations where it need to be. This is breaking. Moment Biafra charter was handed over to Congressman Gus. Bring Finance Minister Ogechukwu Ukere and Director of Foreign Affairs USA Ada Eze having pleasantry exchange with Congressman Gus Berrals at the end of the meeting. So meetings are going on daily basis, meetings upon meetings of meetings, as we are waiting for the restoration of independence state of Biafra that is coming. As we are waiting for that restoration of independence of Biafra, meetings are going on daily basis, on different platforms, on different fronts. And the people that have been met are top officials of the United States. Top officials in United States. Everyone that you see being met here are top officials in the United States. Congressmen and women are being met and discussion are being held. That charter you see him holding, that is Biafran charter, a kind of something that stands as the constitution of the Biafran government. That is our constitution. Until when we will be free and we gazette it, it will not transform to a constitution. That is the charter. And you see congressmen and the pictures that have been taken as evidence to show the Biafrans how far and how successful the move have been. A lot of success, a lot of success. People that matters in the United States are being met one after the other, handing them over the charter of Biafra after discussion and after proper introduction. You can see all these things are happening in Capitol Hills, and I bet you do not joke with what is going on. If you joke with it, it is up to you. You are going to face the consequence. Every one of us should be prepared. We are going home. And this one is that very speech that was made by our Prime Minister. The hand of fellowship that was given to the terrorists in our land that call themselves politicians. That was where our Prime Minister made a speech, where he told the politicians to make their choice. The politicians are told to make their choice. It is time for them to decide what they want for themselves. It is time for them to decide either to be on the side of freedom or to be on the side of destruction. It is left for them. It is left for them to choose good or evil. It is left for them to choose to be in Biafra land or stay out of Biafra land. The point is very clear. Very, very clear. The instruction from our Prime Minister is very clear. If they want to be in Biafra land, it is their choice. If they don't want to be in Biafra land, they should leave Biafra land for us, because what is coming, they cannot be able to handle it. And not only that, this is a special invitation letter, an invitation letter to all the politicians in Biafra land. Any one of them that want to attend the convention, this is an express invitation for all the politicians to come to the convention in Finland. Come to the convention in Finland. If you want to see our Prime Minister, if you want to meet with him, if you want to hear anything from him, come to that convention, November, December. You wouldn't say you are not told. Don't say you are taken unawares. Everything that we need to do as a government, our government is doing it. And we continue meeting the speakers. This one is Biafra Charter presented to U.S. House Speaker. U.S. House Speaker receiving the Charter of Biafra. U.S. House Speaker. And the meeting will continue to go on. It doesn't matter what they do. The result of our meeting is marvelous. We will feed them with the result until they run out of propaganda. These are the results coming out from Capitol Hills. Our Prime Minister is sharing informations. And we have another update. The update that is coming from Enugu State, reported by Sahara Report, he said Governor Peter Mba's petrol station set on fire. Governor Peter Mba petrol station set on fire. Of course, the criminal Mba, who the zoo is using to destroy the life and properties of people in Biafra land. The people that Mba have taken the life of their children and the life of their wives, the life of their loved ones, they are fighting back. They are fighting back. The people are revolting against the terrorist sponsor and their businesses. What you are seeing here is the attack on Peter Mba's filling station. The same way he's attacking the business of Biafrans and destroying life and property, today the Idwa Canon has come to him. The Idwa Canon has come to him. This is it. They say the killer of Enugu people, the criminal governor gas station, has been decimated by the people he killed, their relatives, and the good, loving people of Enugu is like the Iduakanono has finally arrived. The Iduakanono has finally arrived. And as we go, they are reporting. The news is reporting. Biafra, Nigeria has nothing to offer you. Eba, who's Igbo politicians. Exactly. Daily Post. Nigeria has nothing to offer them. And that is the plain truth. That is a bitter truth. The only thing they should do today is to join the Biafran government and secure their future. As simple as that. Another update. PZ cousin to sell Nigerian subsidiary orders. Finally, more companies are leaving Nigeria. More companies. This one is PZ. PZ cousin to sell Nigerian subsidiaries. PZ is about to sell off their company and run as other companies are running. Every company is going to leave the zoo. They will all leave the zoo. Those who refuse to go, they will face the consequence. They will face the consequence. Another update says, we urge criminal Peter Mba to continue to be law-abiding citizen as we look onto the matter. He must not take the law into his hand, and he usually does. The Biafran government will investigate the matter. That's the people who took their life and the property of their children. They have come back to launch back attack on his filling station. And our prime minister is telling him not to go after the people or fight them the way he used to do and begin to destroy innocent life, that the investigation will be done by the Biafran government and then action will be taken. The olive branch is there. The purpose of the Biafran government is to protect life and property and not to take life. That is the purpose of the Biafran government, to make sure that every Biafra is protected, and we will continue to do so. We will continue to make sure that the life and property of Biafran people are protected. That is what we have signed up for, and we will continue to pursue it until the end. I appreciate everyone that has participated on this program. Thank you for joining us wherever you join us from. Everyone that's contributed in one way or the other on this program, I thank you for being part of the program. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every one of you. Hear this before we go.
The indigenous people of Biafra and this government represent indigenous people of Biafra as a nation and as a people, not as organization. And that should be made very, very clear in case they are not understanding. So not when we do something under this government, do not attach IPOB as an organization to it. I want to send this particular message to be very, very clear to the Nigeria state today, so that they should be addressing whatever we are doing properly to the Biafra government, not attaching IPOB to it. IPOB is a registered organization, and we have moved from there to a government, and that's where we are today. So stop linking us to an organization called IPOB, which is a Nigeria political pressure group. And today, they are no longer relevant in Biafra struggle, because you have used them for many years to kill our people, use them as sacrifice, only to put for a particular political interest. That particular time has ended. And if the Biafra agitation was a joke, we have made it a reality. It is no longer a joke. Under my leadership, it is not a joke. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you.
Thank you so much for joining me on this program. I appreciate every one of you that have participated in one way or the other. I will see you again tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu. Thank you and stay safe. Remember.